Hey everyone, it's Miss Casey. Last fall, 5th grade and I buried a bunch of objects in the garden. We wanted to see what would happen to them if we left them in the soil. Would they break down or decompose or biodegrade into the soil? Or would they still be there when we dug them up in the spring? Since school is closed, unfortunately we couldn't all be out in the garden to dig them up together, but I was able to put on my mask and go out and dig them up to see what happened to these 5 objects that we buried.
So here's the compost bin where we buried our objects. I'm going to dig them up and see if I can find any. Oh, could this be? Could this be the paper that we buried? Set that aside. Oh, what's this? Oh, a glass bottle. All right, set that aside. Wonder if this is part of the orange that we buried. Oh, I think I found something. Ooh, look at that. All right, got some mud in there. I think I found something else. Plastic container. All right, here are the 5 objects I think I found. All right, first up we have our plastic container. It was used to carry stickers. Let's take a look at it. It looks pretty intact to me. The only thing that looks a little off about it is the sticker is very discolored. It has black splotches on it. But other than that, other than some dirt left over where I didn't scrub hard enough, it looks just the same as the day we buried it, just a little dirtier. Our glass bottle was a tea bottle, and the same thing. Other than just being a little bit dirty from where I didn't rinse all the dirt off, I would say this bottle is exactly the same as it was last October. No cracks in it. It's not even discolored, it's still very clear. It's got a big old shred in there. I think I accidentally hit it with my shovel while I was digging. But other than the tear, and again some dirt, it's still very shiny. The colors are still bright and vibrant. Wow. The last thing that I found, this piece of paper that I think is the paper that we buried. And the paper is very delicate. It's tearing very easily. There's holes in it that I didn't put there. So it makes me wonder if a worm had passed through it. I wouldn't say it's in great shape. I would say it's started to break down. It's definitely not as strong of a paper as it used to be, but it's held up pretty well for 7 months. And finally we have our orange peel, which I mistakenly thought was part of our science experiment, but I forgot that it was an apple core, not an orange peel that we put in. But I still dug it up, I brought it home. I have no idea when this was buried. It does look like it was buried perhaps at least a month ago, if not longer. But it's held up all right, but you know, I don't think that if it stayed in the soil, it would have lasted much longer. It looks like it started to break down as well.
And of course, the last thing that we buried was the apple core. And would you believe it? It turned into a whole apple again. No, I'm just kidding. I could not find the apple core. I dug and I dug and I dug, and it just wasn't there. So what happened to everything? Why was the apple core gone, but the aluminum can still there? I found this handy chart from thebalancesmallbusiness.com that might be able to explain a few things. So, it doesn't have all of the items that we buried listed on here, but I think it has enough to give us some insight as to what happened. Let's start with the orange peel, which is an item that we found. It says here that the orange peel would take 6 months to break down. So that means that the orange peel we found was buried less than 6 months ago. Now, orange peels and apple cores I think are pretty similar. They're both fruits, and I think they would act in similar ways when buried. We know that our apple core was buried 7 months ago. So that to me tells me yes, our apple core did break down. It decomposed right back into the soil, and that's why we couldn't find it. Now let's take a look at the tin can, which I think is similar to our aluminum can. It says that tin cans take 50 years to decompose. Well, we only left our aluminum can in the soil for 7 months, so not even close to enough time for it to decompose. Whereas our plastic container, I think that's similar to our plastic bottle, and it says here that plastic bottles take 450 years to decompose. I think that would be similar for our plastic container, so our plastic container has a long time left before it breaks back down into the environment. So that leaves our paper and our glass bottle. I'm going to leave it up to you. What do you think? Do you think that given more time, the glass bottle would have broken down? Do you think that given more time, our paper would have broken down? Now, I hope you keep this in mind if you ever see someone littering and putting glass or aluminum or plastic out in nature, or leaving it in the garden or on someone's yard. Remind them that this stuff doesn't just go away if we leave it out. So please keep that in mind. Make sure your trash ends up either in the trash bin, or better yet, things like aluminum, glass, and plastic, we can recycle these. So remember that if always reduce first, reuse next, and then when it comes down to it, recycle, which is exactly what I will be doing with these containers now. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.